Thank you for turning to page 121. Today I'm going to take a look at an old favorite of mine, challenge number 31. Challenge magazine was the house magazine for Game Designers Workshop back in the day. And I'm going to take a look at this guy from 1987 and explain why I've chosen this guy. I took a look at issue 25 previously, but I'm skipping ahead a little bit and I'll explain my reasoning as I go into the video. Also, just a quick reminder, I'm going to be at Adepticon on March 25th. It's this coming Saturday. Not in any capacity other than just being there. I'm going to be wandering the halls and the vendor area and things like that. It's a really fun day. My boys and I go every year. It's a lot of fun. You just kind of walk around a little bit. You can do some pickup gaming, play some demos, walk the vendor hall. It's a good time. It's mostly for games workshops stuff, but there's plenty of other stuff there, and there's a big BattleTech presence there. So I'll be at least watching, if not playing, a little bit of BattleTech there. Also, Catalyst Game Labs has a nice booth there and everything, so it should be a lot of fun. So I'm looking forward to it. Also, subscribers, please, and Patreons, please. Everybody who has done either, I appreciate it. Thank you. End of the commercial. Back to the important stuff. We're going to do a flip through of challenge number 31 from 1987, the beginning of Megatraveller, today on page 121. Challenge Magazine. I really miss Challenge Magazine. This was a fun one. This and Dragon were the two I looked forward to every month. And no, that's not a fold in the corner. That's the way the corner's colored. So this is issue 31 from 1987, and I chose this one for a couple of reasons. One, it's a sentimental favorite. I always liked this issue. I remember my wife and I had gotten married a few months earlier before I bought this, or right around the time I bought this. And I remember sitting in the living room of my very first apartment, being a big boy, being married. My wife was dozing on the couch, and I sat and I read this magazine. This will always have a special place in my heart because of that. I also feel that this issue is where the magazine kind of took an editorial turn and got to be a lot more professional. I liked the look better, and I thought it was really coming into its own as professional. I love this painting with all the Aslan. I especially like the Aslan child here, talking with the human child. I just thought this was really good and very evocative and very much a moment of Traveller trapped right here. I have used this to show relative size of humans to Aslan in games. So now we're going to take a look at the insides. This was a house magazine published by Game Designers Workshop expressly to promote their goods, and I love that. Unlike Dragon Magazine, which denied it was a house magazine, Challenge embraced it. So I was all for it. Our very first thing here is an ad for Twilight 2000. Yes, I did play Twilight 2000. I didn't run it. One of our players GM'd it for us. It was okay. It was nothing that caught on. Honestly, we all kept pretending, or the way we played, our play style was more like Gamma World than Twilight 2000. And I think that's what hurt it. So we didn't play it much. So Lauren Wiseman was the managing editor of this issue. And I feel that the artwork, the layout, everything just got much better. And it was copyright 1987. And this would have been right around the time or a little after the release of Megatraveller, which also Megatraveller, again, that came out right around the time I got married, a little after I got married. So I have a lot of fond memories of Megatraveller, playing it in our first apartment and just things like that. So a lot of this is nostalgia for me. I like doing these page throughs. I do one a month for Dragon Magazine. If you're interested in me doing page throughs for Challenge Magazine, I'd be happy to. Please let me know in the comments below if this is something you want to see on a regular basis. So then we get the table of contents for the issue. This was smaller than Dragon Magazine, only won about 64 pages, a little more than that. But it didn't have quite the popularity that Dragon had, D&D had at the time. So we get a nice editorial from the manager. Just detected conventions and miniatures you could get, computer programs, and then they did feedback. They would give how favorable the feedback was for individual articles in the previous issue. That was pretty neat. I like that. And then we got Twilight 2000, USSR 2000. So we got to look at the world of Twilight 2000's Russia, then the Soviet Union. And then we got Twilight 2000 combat examples. I have to admit, I didn't read all of the Twilight 2000 articles. I would skim them, because, like I say, we played Twilight 2000, but it never became a regular in our rotation, and I never GM'd it. But I would read them, and honestly, I got a lot of ideas for post-apocalyptic Gamma World out of Twilight 2000 articles. And I had some Twilight 2000 books. And then we have Traveller 2300. Traveller 2300 was just an attempt to do a kind of a mid-range science fiction game set in the year 2300. Other than plunking the word Traveller in the title, it really had nothing to do with Traveller. It was not consistent with the Traveller universe. We dabbled with 2300. I don't think we played more than 2 sessions. I always felt that if I was going to spend my time playing a space game, I'd rather play Traveller. And then Command Decision. This was a game I did not play, but it was GDW Command Decision Miniature Rules. And this is a list of aircraft for it. GDW, as you know, had many, many miniature games. That's kind of how they started. And then they got into role-playing, and then they mixed role-playing with miniature games, a la the many Traveller miniature games that were out over the years. And then we get some nice ads. Ulster Imports Limited in Champaign, Illinois. Limited quantities of Bradley armored fighting vehicles and Hummers. That's really cool. And then Origins West 1988 ad in Long Beach, California. And then the end of the article from page 2, and then Paper Mayhem, the informative play-by-mail magazine. And then we have a nice ad for Twilight 2000 again. This was a house magazine. They loaded it up with their own stuff. And then this issue, another reason I chose this issue, I really enjoyed this article, Hazardous Cargoes. We got to look at hazardous cargoes as if it were our world. And I like that. I've had training from various jobs where you had to read the hazardous label and know what it meant, and the hazardous codes in case you had to call 911, which I actually had to do on one occasion. So you had to be able to tell the first responders exactly what it was you were dealing with. So this one really spoke to me. I just recently had training in this for another job, and I enjoyed this article, and I still plunked this into my Traveller games right here. There's the labels, all the biohazard labels and such. I thought this was really well done. Written by Marcus L. Rowland. Then we get a Traveller 2300. Mankind discovers the stars. State-of-the-art science fiction role-playing. And again, it's a little lesser tech than Traveller. It didn't have anything to do with Traveller, and eventually they dropped the word Traveller out of it, and it just became 2300. Twisting Tech Levels, a Traveller variant. So just a way to kind of twist around and surprise the players. Here you have a Roman centurion with a cannon. This has been called out very well in various things since then. Firefly leaps to mind for different tech levels that are brought out. Here we get a game of World War III, Team Yankee, from the first Battle Series game from Game Designers Workshop. The rest of the Traveller article brought out here. And then we get a GDW, Darians, Masters of Ancient Technology. This from the Aliens books that they were doing. I think this is the 8th one. I really enjoyed the Darians book. I'd read a short article on the Darians in Journal of Travelers Aid Society, but I really enjoyed having that full book. I have that full book still. I still read it. And then Space Master, the best sci-fi role-playing game from Iron Crown Enterprises. Yes, we did play some Space Master. If you want a complicated game with a lot of tables, Space Master's for you. But I do like this. Do you know me? Probably not. That's why when I'm out for supplies, I carry my Elm on It card. It's universally recognized. That's a little play on Charge Card ad that was out at the time, where the star of the commercial would hold up things. Do you know me? If not, here's and then they'd show their credit card. So I just thought that was a little blast of nostalgia to see that. And then we get the Traveller News Service. This was really important. This is day 125 of year 117. So this is where we were getting our Rebellion updates. No internet yet. Hadn't even heard that word yet. And this was how we found out what was going on in the Rebellion until we got the next supplement. And of course, this was just after the drop of Megatraveller, so we were a while from getting other supplements. And we got some early on, but the story itself didn't expand much. But these expanded the story nicely. I used to immediately turn to these and read them as my update. And then the Wrong Way Valve. We get a nice little Amber Zone adventure here with a neat little pressure gauge diagram. And then Armor in 2300. The bad guys play for keeps, but you wear the badge. This is Crime Fighter, a game from Task Force Games. And then we get the Challenge Writers Department. They're looking for new writers. You could send in for guidelines and write your own article and get it published in the magazine. And then, of course, approved for use with Traveller, undersea environment, mountain environment, desert environment, and the adventures. These were outstanding. These are some of the best supplements written yet. Included Pilot's Guide to Drexilthar, Subsector, Wanted Adventurers, Star Town Liberty, and Lee's Guide to Interstellar Adventure, Volume 1. These are some of the best out there, primarily by the Keith brothers. These are just really good supplements. They're available through the Far Future Enterprises on their CD-ROMs. Megatraveller Designer's Notes. Yes, we were new in a Megatraveller, and we were trying to figure out what the heck it was and where we were going. So yeah, we have a nice article here that's got designer notes. I actually found this very useful. And then we got the task system with the Megatraveller. I might go through the task system in its own video sometime in the future. Then we got a Stardate, an ad, the science fiction gaming resource. Feature improved BattleTech articles. Jane's Ships of the Galaxy, Off the Shelf, Inventive Ordnance. Stardate. I never really bought Stardate. I don't know if I have any Stardates at all. Finishing up the Megatraveller article. We get an ad for Delta Force Companion. It's a war book for your Delta Force team. And Vicerious, Explore, Exploit, and Conquer the New World from Task Force Games in Amarillo, Texas. And then some more of the Megatraveller information, how Megatraveller was going to change Traveller. And then the best team going, Grand Survey and Grand Census. I did a video on both of those guys a long time ago, about a year and a half ago. I may take a look at the other. This is from Digest Group Publications. Still, in my opinion, some of the gold standard. It's a shame that's locked up and whoever owns the rights, because it would be great to see those hit the shelves again. And then approved for use with Traveller from Seeker, Gazelle Class Close Escort, and Adventure Escape, the Adventure, for $3. This is from, I'm not sure where, Finley, ND. And then for $2,300, The Sung. This is reprinted from, it's just an article in here about the creature. As I say, I played a little bit of 2300, but not much, because I just felt it was better to devote my time more to Traveller. Space Gamer, Fantasy Gamer is back. Space Gamer, I do have a few issues of that magazine. It was a good magazine. I liked it. A nice big full-page ad for Megatraveller. I love this 80s artwork. I really do. That just takes me back. And we get a spacesuit for $2,300. We get an ad for Battles of the Third World War. Scenarios for Harpoon for Game Designers Workshop. This is for, Larry Bond, designer of Harpoon and Battles of the Third World War, served in the U.S. Navy. He is currently a Navy analyst in Washington, D.C., and co-author with Tom Clancy of Red Storm Rising, a novel of the Third World War. So that was pretty good resume there. Airstrike, modern air-to-ground combat from Game Designers Workshop. As you see, they were not selling a lot of advertising space yet, so most of it was theirs. Most of it was their product. Earth 2300. What was Earth like in the 2300 game? These articles are really useful, and I've used them for other games, like I say, Traveller, even Gamma World, even Champions a little bit for alternate worlds and things like that. And then we're into the back, which is the classified ads, which were pretty neat. You could advertise for players, or if you're looking for Xerox copies of certain articles, or to trade and swap magazines or modules, you could post up an ad here in the classifieds. They would take it for free on a first-come, first-served basis. We got a preview for next issue. We get Baston and Harpoon from Game Designers Workshop. And then the back page is a nice big ad for $2,300 from, you guessed it, Game Designers Workshop. So as you see, they weren't having a lot with advertisers yet. That did pick up a little bit. down the line. I always thought Challenge was a really good magazine. I apologize for my voice. I've got a little cold. Uh, I always thought Challenge was a really good magazine, one that was definitely worth picking up each month for $3.25. And I was still buying Dragon at the time I was buying this, so it was fun. I would get both these magazines in the month and get new information on Traveller from Challenge and D&D from Dragon. So that's it. That's all I wanted to talk about in Challenge issue number 31. This is just a little sentimental break for me. If you want to see more issues of Challenge, you want me to do a series on Challenge the way I'm doing on Dragon for the D&D side, please let me know in the comments below. And that's it for today on page 121. Thank you for your time, and I'll see you next time.